Welcome to my video, third one I've done. Today's topic of discussion is going to be 50 Shades of Shite. Basically, no mate, it's not even... I'll explain. So basically, the whole premise of the film is boy meets girl, cliche. Boy-girl somehow become in a romantic contractual sexual relationship that most people seem to find terribly romantic. And here's the problem with that: it isn't. Full stop. Not romantic. And I'm just going to give you a few reasons why. First and foremost, he is a stalker. That's not romantic. That's creepy. Really, really creepy. He goes to her place of work without asking or even being told where she works. He shows up at her mum's house later on in the books, having already been told that she needs space, and decides to start controlling who she sees. And then there's a little bit later on in the books where he picks her up while she's drunk, and takes her back to the hotel room. Instead of giving her a lift with her friends to get her home safe, he takes her back to the hotel room and then says, "I didn't sleep with you, aren't I such a good person?" No, a gentleman would have put her in a car and sent her home with her friends, like a normal human being. Now, further problems being, sorry I'm filming on my phone by the way, trigger warning here, he is abusive, emotionally and physically. He guises the whole relationship under BDSM, and it is not. There would be no contract, not to my knowledge. I have never been known in any community of BDSM that I have spent any time with that partake in writing out a physical contract, especially not one like that where it all is around his pleasure and what makes him happy, regardless of her feelings. He is abusive emotionally and physically. He hits her when she doesn't like it, and when she asks him to stop. He emotionally manipulates her by taking away her friends, by dictating her diet and her exercise. He tells her what to wear. He says her virginity, which she is a virgin, and this relationship, BDSM, is not something I would recommend for anybody who's not had sex before, is like just a way to get a means to an end. I think that's the exact line. He says it's a means to an end, and takes it just because he asked her to get past that so he can partake in this sick relationship that he has with her. There's one part in the book that always will stand out to me, particularly in my mind, and it's the part where she says no when he's trying to have sex with her, and he kicks him off, and he pins her down and says if she doesn't, he will just tie her legs. If she does that again and stops him, he'll just tie her legs down and gag her. That is rape. That's not consented. It is rape. Anyone who finds this romantic has been so manipulated by the media that they are messed. It's messed up that anyone could find this man even remotely endearing. The whole books, the next two books, blame the fact that he was abused as a child on the way he is now, and that gives the BDSM community a bad name. There are obviously people in every community that have that situation. That doesn't mean that everybody is, especially not in the BDSM community. And the fact that he blames that for his abusive behaviour, no, he doesn't need a relationship. He doesn't need idolising. He doesn't need fetishizing or romanticising. He needs psychological help and jail. That is what should happen to rapists and abusers. Jail. But nobody seems to get this. Well, actually quite a few people now seem to get this. These are just my opinions on this, of course. He pushes her into marriage later on, and that's supposed to be deemed romantic, but it's purely so he doesn't lose her, because at some point she does grow a backbone and say no. Through the first book, it just stresses me out, and it is a bad example for a relationship for any young impressionable person, regardless of gender, it is bad because they will grow up believing that that is something that they should attain for, and it is not. I don't know if the books are going to, like, the film is going to be true to the books and there's going to be much of it in the film, but instead of seeing the film and putting money in the pocket of some sadistic twat that wrote a Twilight fan fiction that became a horribly abusive love story, why don't you instead do me a favour and donate to a domestic abuse charity? Any domestic abuse charity or shelter or anything like that would be much more worthwhile than going to see this pile of shit that is called 50 Shades of Grey.